Hello, this is Victoria Rosa from Open and Awesome, and you're watching the Open and Awesome Q&A videos. Today our question comes from Elias, and he is asking what to do when you see a couple that you know and somebody else comes into the relationship and you just see it fall apart because of this new person. And that's a great question, Elias, because anyone who's been in the open relationship world for any length of time will have seen this happen a number of times. But rather than answer your question about what you can do when your friends are in that situation, I wanted to just make this video directly for your friends around what you can do to avoid this kind of situation where your relationship gets into trouble because of somebody new coming in, because of a new partner or a new lover. Okay, so first of all, to say that this is an incredible fear that we all have, and partly because it's true, because it happens, and partly it's because in the monogamous world, when somebody new comes along who you like, what we're told is that we're supposed to leave our partner, and that's the way things are supposed to work. So it's no wonder that we feel this intense fear around this, whether it's that we will lose our partner to a new person, or that we will have to end the relationship with our partner when we meet a new person. Now, neither of those need to be the case, otherwise open relationships would be very short-lived, which some of them are, but others, like me, have been around doing this. Well, I've been doing it for 8 years. Other people have been doing it for 20, 30 years. So there is a way to avoid it. Okay, so what can you do? The first thing is to be aware of what is happening. And the main thing that may be happening to you is what we call NRE. That is new relationship energy. Okay, so what does this mean? What is this NRE thing? Another word for it is limerence. That's a word that we use in psychology. Some people also call it falling in love. I like NRE because it is very clear. So what it means is the energy that we get when we have a new relationship, and this rush, this high that we're under. And so how can you recognize it when it's happening? There are several symptoms. So the first one is obsessive thinking. So you're thinking about this new person all the time, about how amazing they are, about all their aspects. You just can't get them out of your head. And likewise, you just want to talk about them non-stop. And you want to spend as much time with them as you can, have crazy sex all the time, unless you're asexual. And you also have these daydreams about them, and they might be quite elaborate fantasies about what your life together is going to be like 20 years from now, what your children will look like, all of these different kinds of things. Okay. You also feel that the person is perfect and they can do no wrong. Now, it's not to say you've suddenly gone stupid, because you're aware that they've got things that aren't great, or that are, for you, are defects, but you just find them adorable and you really don't mind them at all. Okay, so things that would annoy you in other people, you find adorable in your partner, or at least you just go oh, that's really not important. It's probably because you're in NRE. One of the symptoms of leaving NRE is that you suddenly start to get annoyed by this person. Okay, so that will also come. So as with any other high, it's important to recognize that you're in a high. And what happens when you're in a high is that your judgment is a bit impaired, just like when you're drunk or when you're on drugs. Okay, so you're not seeing the reality really clearly. You're seeing it through this fog of NRE, which is wonderful and beautiful, and we all feel it. So, enjoy it. There's no judgment there. Just enjoy it. But just be aware of the effect that it's having on you. Okay, so just as you can see that you're not evaluating this person completely objectively because there's nothing about them that's annoying or that you say is like a drawback, then be aware that the plans that you're making in your head and these fantasies that you have about what you can do aren't reality tested, you know? And this situation can last between 6 months and 2 years, so be aware that, you know, it does take a while to get to know this person, get out of this state of like it is a chemical high that's going on in our brains, okay? And this has been studied. So just be aware that you're under that influence and that will affect your judgment. So don't make any harsh decisions. And one of the ways that this plays in terms of putting your other relationship in trouble is that you might start to draw comparisons between the two. And, you know, your older partner might annoy you. There are things you may not like so much about them. And you're not in the state of high when you're with them. So it's quite tempting to think that your relationship isn't quite as good. But it's just a different level of relationship. It's in a different place. Okay, so a good way to test this is just to think about the day before you hit it off with a new person. What did you appreciate about your partner? Okay, I want you to just write down everything you appreciated about your partner then and about the relationship you have with them. All right, and in all likelihood, you'll still appreciate those things about your partner right now. So this is a bit about like renewing your commitment. Do you want to stay with your partner? Knowing also that, you know, the new person and the relationship with the new person hasn't been reality tested. So you don't know what that's actually really like when NRE has passed. Okay, because you're not going to stay in this NRE state forever. I guarantee you that. Okay. So if you think of that relationship as the pre-existing one, as one that is good and that you want to keep, then that requires some nurturing. So just remember to set time aside to spend time in that relationship and do activities that nurture the relationship. So you can just talk to your partner and ask about what they would like to do together, so that you can continue to enjoy your relationship and then go and do it. It's also quite important to realize that it's quite likely that your partner is feeling a bit unsteady because they're seeing you get obsessed about this new person, and according to the narrative, that means that you're about to leave them, okay? And they may be able to process this better or worse. But this fear might be coming up for them, and that's absolutely normal. So reassuring them that you want to be with them, maybe explaining why you want to be with them, and showing them your love and your affection will go a long way in terms of like smoothing things over and ensuring that that relationship stays good and strong. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Please let me know how you're getting on, and also I want to ask you to just leave a comment below and let us know how this has worked for you. If you've had it in the past, what did you do that worked? What did you do that didn't work? And what have you learned from it? What can the rest of us learn from you? Because you have so much to share that I just want to hear about your learning. All right, if you're not on my webpage, I would say head over there because that's where most of the comments will be, and that is openandawesome.com/blog, and you should see my post there. Great, so if you've enjoyed this video, please do share it with your friends, and I look forward to the next video where I will answer more of your questions, so please keep them coming.